G'day guys! Today we're down at the SteamRanger Heritage Railway on the Fleurieu Peninsula to ride their newly restored X-V-Line H set. I hope you enjoy today's video. These carriages started life in Melbourne, Victoria as the Harris-type electric multiple units in a striking blue and gold livery. After a couple of decades of carting people around, they were then rebuilt in the late 80s and early 90s as the H-type locomotive hold carriages you see today. Of course, they did get refurbished in the 2000s though. But however, by the mid-2020s, they were getting pretty tired, and Victoria was receiving all of the velocities it needed to replace these. At this point, SteamRanger was lucky enough to receive 2 permanently coupled sets of 3, therefore making up 6 in total, plus a power van. Today, we'll be riding behind 844 on the Cockle Train with these carriages. 844 is a very fine example of the South Australian Railway's 830 class. This particular unit, of course, being restored in the iconic mustard pot livery. 844 entered service on the 25th of October 1962 and spent a majority of its life working on the broad gauge. It did, however, see a little bit of use on the standard gauge in the early 2000s, but then returned to the broad gauge, working on the Penrose Stone train in the Barossa Valley until its last days. It then found its way to SteamRanger and returned to service in 2023. Sister unit, 845, will soon have its lengthy restoration completed and join this one on the Cockle Train and other services. Anyway, that's enough chit-chat. I think it's time to board the train and head to Victor Harbor. I just thought it was important to note that there is storage for mobility scooters, wheelchairs and bikes at the back of the train. Here, we're stopping at Port Elliot, a lovely little town with an iconic bakery, beautiful antique stores, and so much more to offer. It's a great place to get out and spend a few hours, perhaps before catching the train back. The Cockle Train is world renowned for its seaside views, and on a hot day like it was that day, it was nice to do it in air-conditioned splendour. And yet, the aircon is perfect.
Haven't got my gather round coat. Yes, red wet. Yep. Yep, go for it.
Time today is 11 o'clock, 1:30 and 3:45. We please ask passengers to please be back up on the platform 10 to 15 minutes before departure. Our next stop is Victor Harbor.
At this point, we're slowly rolling our way into Victor Harbor, where we'll have about half an hour to enjoy ourselves before the train departs to head back to Goolwa. During this time, the loco will run around and prepare itself for the next train. With the runaround movement completed, the loco coupled up, and a souvenir hat bought, it's time to jump back on the train and return to Goolwa, where I'll probably go to the Goolwa Heritage Bakery, which, if you ask me, is better than the Port Elliot Bakery. Not looking to start a fight, just stating facts. Here we are cruising through Middleton, where a track machine is currently sitting in the loop. Middleton is where Cockle Trains will cross when they're operating 2 services during the school holidays. It's also an optional stop. I believe you have to inform the volunteer staff that you wish to board or disembark here when buying a ticket. With the River Murray now visible out the window, you know you're at the end of your journey and back to Goolwa. I've got to congratulate the volunteers at SteamRanger for all their hard work getting to this stage. Training, accreditation, repairs, all of that. I'd also like to thank V-Line and the Victorian Government for gifting them these carriages. They're going to be an asset come summertime. Air-conditioned carriages on hot days? Perfect. I highly recommend coming down and checking them out for yourself. Go for a ride. Sit, look out the window and admire the views. Anyway, I've been Kane from Kane's Trains, and thank you very much for watching.